Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Wave the Brush. With me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargamer Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka... I've got no more AKs. Wave the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet, onto the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. We usually delve into a lot of painting talk, but for any of you new viewers, we usually end up into a lot of what's under the sun, meaning that we just, there's no holds barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So just be aware of that too. Of course, if you are a first-time viewer, feel free to ask your questions. There are no dumb questions here, so ask away. Everybody starts at varying levels within this hobby, so, don't be afraid to ask your questions. Nobody here is going to sit there and go, oh, what are you, some sort of noob? You don't know what you're doing? No, it's not going to happen here, so don't worry about that. So feel free to ask whatever questions on your mind, or whatever, whatever might be troubling you in terms or technique or what have you. And of course, you can always ask them if you're attending live. You can ask them in the chat, and if you're attending, after the fact, if you're watching this afterwards, you can always send your questions to Kris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. You can also join me on waythebrush.com, where it'll have the links to the social medias, such as the Instagrams, the Twitters, and all the other stuffs. And Discord. Join us on Discord. Discord's been a lot of fun. I'm on Discord 24/7 pretty much, so, and a lot of people are just constantly talking back and forth, and, this and that. We got different channels for varying subjects, so don't worry, there is a place to ask questions as well. What else have we got here? We got the Discord, we got the Facebook page, so if you can ask your questions there as well. Many different ways you can get in contact with me, so feel free to use any of those, although if I do highly recommend you use email, right? Kris@miniwargaming.com, that's my email address. And if you're going to send pictures, send the pictures as attachments in the email. Don't send it as links off to other places, because that just... it gets annoying, and also there's ads on other sites, and so it's, let's not do that, okay? So yeah, and of course, if I don't answer your questions right away, the monkeys will, and the monkeys are very knowledgeable folks. Folksels, is that a part of our ship? Anywho, let's see who's joining us here today. We got Old Man Logan, hey y'all. Tucci Granas, hey everybody, how's it going? Just building his first Fire Slayer for Age of Sigmar, very cool. Ghost of Starman Deluxe, welcome back to the Monkey Fight Club. What was the first rule of Fight Club, though? You don't talk about Fight Club. Old Man Logan, doing well. Good choice, Twitchy. Sir Peanut Butter, hey, I'm not late this time. Hello, everyone. No, started the show a little bit late today. As you can see, I'm at home in the lair. And so I was taking a much more relaxed approach to what time I start. And I took too relaxed an approach. And so we're starting an hour late. Who else is joining there? George Hintz, hello. Clumsy Juggler, hello everyone. Sofa Bear, hey. Hey. Hay's for horses, buddy. Hey. Hey, hi there. Who there? Who there? I don't know. The Didgeridoo. Hey, Kris and Monkey. So excited I'm finally able to catch a live show. Well, welcome. I'm glad you can catch us live. Have some fun. And I'll probably just kill that. There we go. Johnny's Chop Shop, Monkey Paint Club. Monkey Paint Club, well, I've been doing that with the patrons. We've been doing we started a project together, and so last week because of technical difficulties, I wasn't able to go any further with it. So anybody who has not gone any further with the projects, don't worry about it, because we didn't get much further in the last week. So next week we will be regathering and working on our project. But Monkey Paint Club. I mean, there's nothing saying we can't just paint together. I mean, usually whenever I'm doing videos and stuff like that, I'm usually just painting whatever, and so you always feel free to join in. Darren Chaman, cool. Get too close. This is live for once. Cool. Get to catch. Jeez Louise. Get to catch one of these live for once. Go Starman Deluxe. If you think about it, the first rule of Fight Club breaks the first rule of Fight Club, if in that it talks about Fight Club. About. It talks about. Talks about. Well, the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. So yeah. But when he gives that speech, he's always with everybody anyway. So, I mean, it's not too big an issue, right? I don't know. Aaron Seach, howdy monkeys. Howdy Kris and monkeys. What's up with the audio? Can hardly hear me. Can hardly hear me, really. Well, the mic is a little further away than usual. I suppose we could up the decibels. Let's go. How about that? Does that sound any better? I've upped it by 0.8 decibels. Does it sound any clearer? Does it sound any louder? I don't know. Can't say. But either way, yeah, because today I got the mic, it's kind of set further away from me. Usually whenever I'm doing my home setup, I usually just have the one device working. It's just essentially just a webcam working. The last couple times there, when I had the snowball at play, for whatever reason, there was static in the line, and so I don't know. Xandrate, no, you sound like Kris. Is there a Marilyn Monroe filter? No, I still sound like Kris. Is there a Marilyn Monroe filter? Ha 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 ha. Over on Twitch, Xandrate. Old Man Logan, no difference that I can tell. Just pump the volume, Aaron. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I turned the volume up, like my gain. I turned the gain up a bit. So hopefully, it's a little bit louder. Sir Peanut Butter says sounds fine. Aaron C saying sounds a little better. Okay. I don't know. Again, like I said, the mic is a little bit further away, so that's why I'm kind of talking a little bit louder, because I know I got to project a little bit further towards the mic. So I'll try not to mumble and kind of have my conversation going this way or anything like that. So I'll try and project. Anyway. Nifty VT. Wow, catching a live stream for once. Need to send pictures of my dark mech. Cool. Yeah. Please do. Aaron C says his volume is cranked. Yeah, I don't know. Can I say? Sir Peanut Butter, I'd love to see some dark mech. I'd like to see some dark mech too, yeah. Nifty, send some pics in, man. We'll have a look. We'll enjoy. I'm sure they're impressive. Unless, of course, they're not painted, then they're not impressive. I won't be impressed. What exactly is Dark Mech anyway? Dark Mechanicum? Dark Mechanicum? Aren't they just regular Mechanicum? Gotta be dark. Gotta be dark. It's kind of like when back in the day when Eldar, and you had Dark Eldar, which were like, more like the Chaos, variety. And, you know, it was, ooh, dark Eldar, dark. They're dark. They're all goth and dark. Old Man Logan. LOL, well, I suppose you could just take a nap to the smooth stylings of Kris B playing in the background. Greenleaf Terrain. Rar. Rar. You are Adam, we hear you roar. I don't remember how the song goes, you know, where would we hear us roar, you know. Nifty VT, yeah, just Malinix colors. Malinix colors? Which one's that? Is that the green? Is that the evil green? I'm actually not that up on Mechanicum. I don't know. I like personally, they're not that interesting. I mean, they're interesting, but like they're not interesting to me. Like I go, oh wow, I gotta do Mechanicum. That looks cool. Even though like they kind of speak to me on many different levels because they're all freaky deaky kind of robot dudes and with tentacles and like little like grabber arms and what I mean. I like all that stuff and they got the hoods and stuff like that, and I like all that. But for whatever reason, Mechanicum just don't excite me. I'm just I mean, maybe I'm a weirdo. I don't know, but yeah, it just. I mean, a lot of the sculpts are cool. I like the guys, like the big rifles, and they got like the bipods and stuff like that, and still pretty cool and everything like that. I like the walkers. I kind of like the four-legged walker tank thing. I like that thing. That's pretty cool. Yeah, But again, like Mechanicum though, overall, I just I'm not really fired up about them. I'm not like, ooh yeah, Mechanicum. Mind you though, they hit really hard though. They hit really, really hard. Like even that little the four-legged walker tank, I can't remember what the heck that thing's called, but when it's got a discombobulator gun, we played a game at Adepticon, and that thing shot my Phantom Titan, and was doing like tremendous amounts of damage. I think it was like 2d6 wounds per hit. Like that was a ridiculous amount of damage for that thing to be doing. So gross, just gross. Greenleaf Terrain show still 2 hours? Yeah, I think so. Unless, of course, people stop talking, or stop asking questions. Then, yeah, no. And if I'm just sitting here staring at the camera, yeah, I'll probably just stop. John J. at Kris. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? What? Oh my god. Oh my god. that was what he tapped. That's what he typed. Nifty VT, Xania Forge World, and off-white and aged white armor color. Oh, okay, cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't know. Again, like I mean, like there's so many cool things, with the knights and stuff like that, and so just, a lot of different, I mean, there's like I said, like there's a lot of things about Mechanicum that appeal to me, but a Mechanicum overall, I don't know. It just kind of. I don't know. I even forget that they're an army. I forget that's a thing, John J. Kris, if I ever make it to Mini Wargaming, I'm taking you drinking. Sure. I'm sure I can keep up. But yeah, usually, well, not usually, but sometimes, when we have our guests and stuff like that, we end up, going out after hours with them and stuff, and so give you a look at the darker, not the darker side, but the other side of Mini Wargaming. Not the darker side. The darker that sounds too grim. It's like the dark side of Mini Wargaming. No, that's not the right way. It's more the other side. It's behind the camera kind of thing, right? It's not, the dark side. It's not like that. Although. So, we got a few emails to go through today. so that'll keep us busy. What else do we got today? I actually didn't check the news this morning either. I usually check the news like for like what's happening, in in the miniature world, and I didn't. Mainly because I don't think I got my email in time. That's what it was. So I'm looking at my Games Workshop email now, and it's just promo stuff for second edition stuff, and but no, I mean the second edition, is exciting, but I can't say. I was going to say, but I can't say. So, anywho, what time we at here? 20 after? Okay. Let's do an email because we can. Sorry, I've got my mouse hand over here and I'm all discombobulated. Let's do an email. Headphones. Email time. It's email time. This week, what do we got here? Am I doing this the right way? There we go. Why does this always feel like it's got to move around on me? I don't know why. Anyway, this week's offering, this is from Ben Ellis. This week's offering, oh Monkey Lord. No great detail on slime, but fun to do though. So he sent in his slime marbo. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. I said Sly. This is Dante. Let me see here. Email 2? No, not email 2. Screen capture? No, not screen capture. Didn't I have another thing for enlarging the picture here? Son of a beehive. Anyway, so Dante, all painted up. Looks good. Like the scroll work. Like the blue, the gradients. Nice. Yeah, I like him. He looks good. Yeah, I think you'll become a lot happier with your gradients on your energy weapons and stuff like that once you start getting a bit more into blending a bit more of your transitions, and then doing like a final dry brush in like a brighter color. Just because, like, as I've recommended many times, when we dry brush, a lot of the colors, they tend to get really chalky really fast, right? For example, like on his blade, you can see the dark colors there, which means that when he was dry brushing, that darker blue, then the lighter blues, and then the whites, and it still left those darker things because, again, dry brushing, when you don't have a very smooth base coat on, it can leave a very leave the brush strokes, and then when you dry brush, those high points on the brush strokes end up catching on your brush, and so you end up with like a really chalky finish. That's how you get a really chalky finish on a surface, is that you didn't have very smooth. Something to be mindful of, Ben, but I mean otherwise it looks great. It's tabletop. He's ready to go. Another shot of Dante. Very cool. But yeah, you can see, like, for example here, let's have a look here. Like, for example, you can see the chalkiness runs all the way through. So he started dry brushing his lighter colors on top and built it up. Probably, what, 2-3 colors? Probably Caldor Sky, Techless Blue, and then, I don't know, white almost. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. Oop. Oop. Jeez. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that when you're going through that many layers of dry brushing, the chalkiness is going to keep getting more and more exaggerated as you build up. So in fact, you're better off, starting to practice blends earlier on, so that you're only doing maybe 1 or 2 layers of dry brushing, and just to get like the edges. You know what I mean? Like, I used to do the exact same thing. Don't get me wrong. I used to do the exact same thing. In fact, I don't have any examples of my wicked dry brushing. If I had my examples of my old paint, I'm gonna have to scour my collection, and I'm gonna have to find you guys. I'm gonna find you guys some examples of like my early paint jobs, because I know I have like 1 or 2 early painters, not my first ones, but early, like when I was still in high school, kind of thing. When I was still painting in high school, I was actually getting pretty good. I was getting very comfortable with it, getting lots of compliments, and because I was into the highlighting and the shading, and and so I was already at that phase when I was in high school, that I was already into all those things, OSL, things like that. Those were really new concepts. They hadn't really quite made it to the mainstream wargamingness, as it were. Airbrushing really wasn't even a thing. That's back kind of like when airbrushing was considered cheating. It's not, but early on, it's the same. It's what? And some of these old stigmas, and wargamers must be very stubborn folk. Wargamers must be very stubborn folk, because when there's a new concept, they're very resistant to it, and whatever stereotypes build up around it persist for many, 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 many years after it. For example, Forge World. Forge World is often seen as overpowered, and that was a stereotype from way back in the day. That hasn't been true for a very long time, until the recent book. But that's because apparently the person who wrote the book didn't know what they were doing anyway, and so I don't know how much truth I can put into that, how much stock I put into that, but yeah. So those old stigmas, Eldar being cheesy or beardy, right? That's another old stigma and concept, and like Eldar are no less cheesy than anything else that are coming out right now, or anything that gets a newer book, right? So Aaron sees the dark side of mini wargaming isn't it at Quirk's house? Yeah, the dark side of mini wargaming at Quirk's house? Not really. That's more like the pink squishy side. That's where you're more likely to get VD. Didgeridoo, Kris, any tips on painting black models in terms of highlighting and such? I'm in the process of painting a Darth Vader model, and I always have trouble with making the black on models look good. Keep your highlights very, very small, very, very subtle. Stick to the edges of things. Don't overthink it. I always recommend this. Try and stay away from grays. I actually like using turquoise colors, with turquoise being a blue-green. It gives a really nice highlight, in fact, you can work within it to highlight black, and it still feels black without leaving black, right? Whereas gray, if you go too bright, it feels too white, and so yeah, definitely think in those terms. I've got many tutorials in Mini Wargaming's Vault on highlighting black. And oftentimes I use like Sotek green, if you're using Citadel colors, which is a turquoise, and I often use that mixed with black, and I'll go like 5 parts black, then 4 parts black, then 3 parts, then 2 parts, and then maybe 1 to 1. Then it all depends on how bright I want to go, but I often build from a very, very close to black up to just almost what I was using for my highlight color. Sometimes. So hopefully that helps. Who asked that? I forget who asked that. Oh crap, it's already gone by. Okay. Well, anyway. Yeah. Go Starman Deluxe. Kris, thoughts on the new Milan sorcery stuff? I'm planning on picking them up in September for D&D. Yeah, sure. The pieces are good. The sculpts look good. They got some good heft to them. Lots of detail. Pick them up. Yeah, they're fun. Go Starman Deluxe. There's a couple of them that just straight up look like D&D spells, like the flying swords and the cloud of daggers, or the portals and dimensions. Plus, I intend to use the purple sun as a death tyrant. Cool. Yeah, definitely. And like that the purple sun thing, that's like that in my hand. It's huge. Ben Ellis joining late. Hello, Monkey Lord. Hello, Ben. We just did an email of yours, so if you want to watch that, it's in the past. It's in the past, man. It's in the past. Sir Peanut Butter, Eldar art cheese. Don't tell Gim. Well, Gim again. Gim is how most wargamers that I've encountered are. A lot of like, I'm not saying everybody, it's because that would be a stereotype in itself, right? But a lot of the wargamers that I encounter are of a similar kind of mindset like Gim, where just it's just this is that, you know what I mean? And yeah, and they just tend to be very stubborn. John J at Kris. I assume that's Kris. Are you excited about Badger's Metalsmith line out today? The Metalsmith stuff's been out for a while. I picked it up at Adepticon. I haven't done any videos on it. I haven't played with it at all. I've just been busy and I've just been playing with other stuff. I've been, if you've noticed, like in the videos, I've been playing with Spastix color ship paints, which is pretty fun. The Metalsmith stuff is very, very interesting. It feels like it is. It's like the ghost tints with the metallics. That's what it feels like. Give you an idea if you've ever used any of the Minotaur ghost tints and the metallics. The metallics are fine. Metallics run. The silver, I always had a little bit of trouble with their silver. The gold ran great, but the silver always gave me a bit of trouble. At least in the early batch. I don't know about later. Steve would probably have a better opinion on their silver because he's used. Man, he's probably gone through like 16 bottles of it, doing like all his Iron Warriors and stuff like that. And the ghost tints, well, ghost tints are ghost tints. I mean, they're good. I mean, if you know some of the things, this or that about them, they're perfectly fine. So yeah, I have the Metalsmith line. I picked it up when I was at Adepticon. I just haven't gotten around to doing any videos on it or anything like that. Even playing with it that much, really. But yeah, I suppose I should probably get on that. Voice of the Emperor. Hey Kris, made it in time, able to watch the whole episode for once. Must get around to getting photos taken to email with the progress of my Ultramarines army if I'm not distracted by other shinies. Yeah, that's always the case, right? Just the shiny things is just distracting. It's just, I know. I'm the same way, man. Same way. I like, ooh, look at this, and it's like, okay, I picked up those Metalsmith paints because I was gonna do videos and I was gonna, show, and and then I get the Spastic color shift paints, and then I'm off, ooh, look at these colors, yeah. Same way, dude. Didgeridoo, thanks for the tips. I'll try it out and let you know how I go. Cool, thank you. John J, yes, Chaos, new nickname, Chaos. Is that how we would pronounce that? K-E-I-S? Chaos? Chaos? Kios? Kios? I think Kios, isn't it? Kios? Sounds a little close to kiss, but whatever. Ben Ellis, with Quirk being called Dave, from what I can tell, there being the original Dave, does Quirk get demoted to Dave too, or is he just known as by all as Quirk at work? I've only ever known Quirk as Quirk. Even when I first met him, he was Quirk. That's just what people call him. That's his name, Quirk. We don't call him anything else. We don't call him Dave. That's his name, but we don't call him it. I've never known him by Dave, and whenever I have used it the once or twice, yeah, it felt weird. It was like, ugh, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel. He's Quirk. He looks like a quirk, and he is a quirk. Ghost Star Deluxe. Kris, I am the Gim, therefore I must be stubborn. Yeah, you are. If you've ever known Gim, oh, he's stubborn. Oh, he's a stubborn man. Oh, man. Like a mule. Like a mule. You have to kick him right in the ass. It's like, son of a bitch, man. Just move, you know? But I can say that because I know Gim, and we were high school buddies. I mean, like, we've been friends for longer than some of you guys have been alive. Sofa Bear, Kiosk. John J. Keys? Is it Keys? Like Reese? Keys? Boyset Emperor, Koala? Koala. David Vaughn, what are your thoughts on the Secret Weapon rust paints? Want to try them? But from what I can see, they look really watery thin. Yes. Most of those paints, like there's AK Interactive, and I think MIG does a rust paint. Vallejo does a rust. Secret Weapon does a rust, obviously, because we're talking about it. They're all a thin-bodied. Like, if you've ever used, like, Nilic Oxide from Citadel to do, like, the bronze, you know, patinas and stuff like that, that's what that rust stuff will do. Yeah. That's kind of what it is. It's thin-bodied stuff. I mean, you can make that color yourself, medium, and, you know, Troll Slayer orange. Thin it way down. And, in fact, I think I've shown doing that on Titans. Doing, like, the whole armor plate, and then just give it a wash of, like, Troll Slayer orange, and then just give it, like, dry brush, and it looks like it's all rusty. I mean, it's all pigments. These products, some of them are for convenience, but don't be confused that there's anything particularly special about them. That there's some sort of formula, it's some sort of splitting atoms, atomic formulation of, you know, whatever. That's not the case. These are simple pigments suspended in whatever mediums we happen to use. Oil, lacquer, acrylic, whatever. Water. You know what I mean? Like, it's all it is. It's just pigments. These are just colors. That's all they are. Old Man Logan. Oh my God, Quirk's real name is Dave? Now I have to change my legal name. Yeah, well, see, even though Old Man Logan, I mean, like, I don't call you Dave. I just call you Old Man Logan. I mean, we've talked many times, and you're still just kind of Old Man Logan, you know? It's like when I talk to Grim, you know? He's Grim. I can't, you know. Sofa Bear, yeah, Dave Beverly Quirk. What a guy. Ghost Star looks Keys' Pieces. Keys' Pieces? Keys' Pieces? So, but yeah, I mean, he's Dave. I mean, he's Quirk. He's not Dave. He's not David. He's not Day. He's not Vid. He's Quirk. I can't think of calling him anything other than Quirk, because it just otherwise just again weird. It doesn't fit, you know. John J, I'm looking for that special paint with those special properties that grant me talents like the Kris. Yeah, unfortunately, man, you know, you're not the only one that's looking for the shortcut, for the easy route, for, you know, and I mean myself too, myself included. You know, you're always looking for the more efficient way to do something, and you look at a product and you think, oh, you know, maybe this will get me there, and it might, and it might not, you know. But you know, when you bear in mind the very fundamentals of painting, is simply just pigments. You're moving those pigments around. That's all that this is simply how thin or thick those pigments are and how they're being moved around on a surface. And that's it. That's painting. That's it. Right? So it's everything else is varying complexities from that, but otherwise it's very simply is moving pigments, colored pigments, around on a surface. That's it. That's painting. And you know, sure, some things are going to be really, godsends. Like, I mean, man, I can't imagine, flow improver. You know, I can't imagine my life without that. I love that stuff for my miniature painting. That has helped me so much since I've been really, really, really getting into it. That has made my painting life so much more fun, and much more interesting. And I've found that I found anything is limitless when with just a little bit of flow improver, or flow aid. Any color becomes a shade wash. Every color is a glaze. The fact that every color can be a shade wash, is just fun to think about, because I can take any color and I can make any color I want to be its shade, and I can apply it, and it'll be just like how the shade washes work, where it'll creep into the recesses, and it's very quick to get that effect, rather than blending those colors and creating those deep colors inside the recesses, right? So again, that's kind of a shortcut, but it's also an efficient way of doing something to achieve a certain effect quickly. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But again, when you stick to just that kind of mindset, unfortunately, you do end up hitting kind of roadblocks, because there's not a lot of products out there that are like shortcuts for the most part. And so I think that's really kind of where we're getting kind of caught up in this, right? Clumsy Juggler. There are some rust effects for model rail and actually produce rust. Yeah. Sofa Bear, too bad you didn't decide to call him Beverly when you realized you already had a Dave. Ghost Star Rails, calling Quirk something other than Quirk would be quirky. Pixel Hobo. That's a fun name. Pixel Hobo. Pixel Hobo. First way of shortcuts. Airbrushing. Yes, it is. It is one of those ways to efficiently get models done. But when you examine airbrushing over, say, 100 models or one model, is it more efficient to go through color changes and such for the one model, or to go through color changes and, and getting entire lines of models done? It's efficient in that regards, not so efficient in that regard, right? But also airbrushing, nobody just picks up an airbrush and immediately is a master of it. Now, it takes a bit of practice. Now, the practice time between it and a regular paintbrush might be different, but there's still a practice time in using an airbrush and getting used to how flow and air pressure and position and, like, all those things matter. You don't just come into it and go, aha, here's Zenithal, and now I'll do this, and here's some OSL, and blah, blah, you know what I mean? Nobody comes into it just doing that right off the hop. Those take practice. To pull off those effects, it takes practice. To do them well, it takes practice. So, it is a bit of a shortcut. And I wouldn't recommend anybody get into airbrushing until they've really mastered brushwork. But if you're going to get into airbrushing early on, then practice, along with your brushwork as well, regular brushwork, right? But yeah, Pixel Hobo, yeah, I mean, airbrushing is kind of, a shortcut. Hydropinos, painting as Sentinel in Dazzle Camo. The tedium is strong. Yeah, I'd imagine so. Trying to keep all those straight lines and everything like that. Yeah. Had to take a break and fill a cart with skulls. Whoa. Ben Ellis, question. Painting Legion of the Damned. How would you paint the black armor if it's not meant to reflect light according to the fluff? I did 5 in the past and stopped until I gained the tools. You might be overthinking it. You know, so just doing a simple edge highlight. I mean, you can just leave the black and concentrate on the flames, making the flames like nice and bright. But I mean, it's not going to look right. And I mean, you see GW's examples, and they have their edges highlighted, so you can just do an edge highlight. Just do the edges. I mean, you don't have to do like great gradients of color or anything like that, right? Just leave it to predominantly black, you know. So, yeah. Greenleaf Terrain. I've only been airbrushing for a little over 2 years, and I think I suck. Not really, Adam. Pretty damn good. Pixel Hobo. I've been painting airbrushing since '88, so for me, coming into this hobby was awesome. Cool. Well, send pics, man. Send pics. Send me pics of your work. Hydropanos. You can make an airbrush from a plastic cup and a straw, and still need the compressor though. Well, you can sit behind it. You can get a straw. Get a straw, put paint in your mouth, and blow it out. And I mean, you pretty much do the same thing. Don't do that. Don't put paint in your mouth. The Gim. Hey, buddy. Weekly check-in. How you doing? Elder suck at all that. I'm off to get a Brazilian later. Oh, shit, what? He's off to get a Brazilian later. Oh, shit. A Brazilian. You're not getting it. I see, the thing is that I'll never know. I'll never know if he gets a Brazilian or not. Because I ain't going to look. I ain't going to check, right? So. Oh, man. That's a good one. Aaron Seach, episode 208. Who the F is Dave? Who the F is Dave? Yeah. I like that. Who the F is Dave? Who the F is Dave? Voice of the Emperor. I remember someone talking about mixing actual rust dust and paint medium and getting good results. I can't vouch for this though, as I've never attempted. I've never done it myself. I really wouldn't myself either. But yeah, I made the comment, I think, a while back that they were using actual rust in medium. I do recall that too. Yeah. Johnny's Chop Shop. Is Quirk named after Quirk in DS9? No, that's his last name. His actual legit last name is Quirk. Despite you, Johnny's Chop Shop, you are thinking of Quark. Yeah, that's Quark. Yeah, DS9 is Quark, not Quirk. Although I have called Quirk Quark. Because I do watch DS9. Despite you. Also, hi Kris. Also, hi. Hydropanos. Human females. What? Oh, human female. Human females. Hydropanos, they give good umogs. Yeah, umogs. What the hell movie was it? Or was it a no, it was the damn Rick and Morty. And he's grabbing him or whatever, and he's just let him finish, and he said he'll help you where they're going. He's like, ooh, what do you mean let him finish? Damn Rick and Morty. Where am I? John J. Confucius say one who licks fine brush wakes up with stinky mouth. Ew. Voice Never, please don't do a show that on stream. I don't think my eyes could cope. Yeah, please don't do it on stream. Yeah, the Brazilian? I don't think so. No, thank you. No, thank you at all. Aaron Seach, Kris, do not open any pictures sent by Gim for at least the next year. Just saying. Ben Ellis episode. Dave, there can be only one. Yeah, there can only be one, can't there? Let's do another email. Where the hell am I? Oh, here I am. Okay. Do another email. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? Oh, shame on me. Last time we did the jingle, I forgot to thank Guy Mir Alfer, aka Carl, aka Beard Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. I forgot to say thank you for him for doing these jingles that I'm going to do right now. Headphones. email time. Email time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay. So, morning, gentlemen. Working on a collection of giant insects, lizards, and aquatic beasts for Frostgrave Ghost Archipelago. After a bit of shopping around, I found Tubes Toys at Michael's. Just added midfield bases. The crock in the water is hot glue with wash on it. Interesting. Orc for feety. I mean scale. Seems I did good on the mold lines from my last email. That being said, enjoy the centipede. Thanks, Nick Dumo. P.S. Brian Blust is louder than words. And so, let's have a look. Giant Spider and Orky Boy for scale. Very cool. Still see some old lines. I like the little blends you got going on the flesh though. Very, very cool. I think a light little dry brush just to catch some of these high points on the fur. Also, I think a matte finish would be cool as well, just to, you know, kill a bit of that shine on the fur, you know what I mean? Yeah. I like that though. It's very cool. Yeah. Centipede. Thank God it's not human though. Crocodilies. Nice. A little blue one here. Mouth. Typically the mouths though, oftentimes we paint them kind of pink, but often in reality their mouths are kind of like a white, aren't they? Something like that. Yeah. Oh, okay. So hot glue. Jeez, look at this cobra. Holy moly. Very cool. I like the hot glue. Very interesting. He's late for the dentist appointment. I like the patterning on the scales. I like this guy too. The coloring on him as well. Very, very cool. Gotta do the eyeball. Oh man, do the eyeball. Do the eyeball. How come everybody looks like they're all smiling at each other? Is that right? They're all smiling at each other? I like the coloring on him. Like that green yellow. That's cool. Oh, is that it? Well, that was it. Well, thank you, Nick, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. I like that. I think some of the eyeballs on some of these creatures could get painted in. I think you know, would help just a hair. Oh, we got another email from Nick. He says, "Hello. Do not want to flood one email with too many pics, so here is the second. Going to be painting up all the teams for local store. Quick but serviceable was the aim. Though not my best, I am happy with this for a day of painting my from base coats. Warning, sentimental content, look away to preserve manliness. I also want to say thanks for doing all this. You are more than a small part of why I am good at this and keep aiming to get better. Being out of work for a bit and looking up doing commissions at the store for some income till I can get a decent job. And after a failed job interviews, it's great to hear some genius praise for something I enjoy doing. Okay, enough of the sappy silliness. On to some Ratmen playing sports ball. Thanks, Nick Dumont." Well, thank you, Nick. And look at this. Nice and clean. I like them. Really good. Geez. Yeah, they're very nice and clean. I like the metals. I like that green. The little spot of green in there just really immediately catches the eye. These little guys. The tails and the flesh, I like that. As far as commission goes, they're pretty darn good. I'm sure they were very happy with the results. Yeah. And I mean, like, you don't have to kill yourself, you know, getting a whole bunch of them done. Especially if you're doing them just for, you know, store. It's got to be mindful of some areas, you know. I think with these kind of highlights here, instead of having such a drastic contrast between the two, I would have mixed the two. I mean, yes, I realize that might take a bit more time, but I would have mixed the two and highlighted the high points with that. But I like the tones on the flesh, though. That's really good. The tails and everything. They look like they're holding hands. Yeah, see how you're a bit darker here? I like that. Because that way you can lay quick layering on. It still looks like a highlight, but it's not such a high contrast that the eye sees, you know, the brush strokes really a lot, right? Because that's what can give away, you know, doing a good paint job and a quick paint job. See here, I can see the highlight versus here, I don't really perceive any highlights yet. There might be one there. Like that little albino thrower. I assume this guy's the thrower. Very, very cool. Like little warpstone balls. Very cool. I think this guy, though, he needs red eyes. I think all Skavens need red eyes, I think. Or green. Glowy green, I think. But very, very cool. Thank you, Nick, for sending that in. That's awesome stuff. And hopefully you do, you know, find some work and, you know, don't have to sit there and, you know. Because commission painting, I mean, it's going to be, that's a tough go, buddy. That's a tough go. If you think you can handle it, by all means, go for it, buddy. Oh, Nick, you're here today. Got to run for a few. Need to get a nap. Nick, damn typos. Need to fix that me. G squared. Oh no, late. Hey y'all, the monkeys. Hey y'all. Y'all. G squared. No email again. No email again. What? No, I don't. There's only one thing I control for sending out emails, and it's a notification if you're on Mini Wargaming's notification list for live shows, and that's it. Otherwise, YouTube, stuff like that, I mean, you have to click the bell. If you want to get notifications when this stuff's coming on, you got to click the little bell on the thing. Otherwise, I have no control over that. Because first of all, I post on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, what time the show's coming on. Those are the 3 spots I post to. That the show's happening, what time the show, even the links to the shows. So, yeah. Aqua, I'm late. I was at a friend's house now, but now I'm going to paint some Space Marine Reavers. Very cool. Awesome. Good job, Aqua. On getting into it. Aqua is a very new painter. Aqua says he'll send pics of the squad when it is finished. Cool. Nifty sent pictures. Oh, Nifty, you sent pictures? Yeah. Did you? Did you? If your name is Richard, then very cool. Hopefully, I might get to it this episode actually, because I'm only on this one right here. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing okay. Doing alright. Okie dokie. So I'm just making sure everything's still running fine here as far as the feed is concerned. Yeah, no, everything's good. Alright. G squared. Funny story to share though. Went to a local GW shop, and the manager was unboxing and getting ready to put together, and I joked about Sigmarines or how Marines and AOS guys were the same. He got real mad. Takes his job way too seriously. Yeah, well, they're supposed to. They're all indoctrinated. Anybody who's worked for Games Workshop, they've all been indoctrinated. It's almost like joining a cult. And you know who I'm talking about. Nick Dumont, the plan is once I get a real job is to keep doing some smaller commission jobs for hobby money. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's about the best way to go. Because, I mean, like, you know, working odd jobs here, there, whatever. I mean, you know, and then, of course, you know, doing some extra stuff for your hobby money keeps you sane, right? Keeps you going. So, yeah. Aqua. I will try not to F up like yesterday. I spilled water all over my setup, but luckily, it didn't get on my minis. Well, most of the time, the minis are waterproof. Even when you do paint onto the mini, the paint dries and the paint is waterproof. The paint will not reactivate if it gets wet again. So, it's one of the good things about acrylic paint is that it dries, and it's, you know, it dries with like a plasticky kind of finish. So, yeah. Ghost Star Man said G squared. Ironically, I think my local store manager has called them Sigmarines at least once. Voice of the Emperor. That's not a funny story. To be honest, I think it's rather sad that someone takes things that seriously. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said earlier, man, Wargamers, funny breed. Wargamers are a funny breed. Zandrate, I saw the color change spoons video. Any suggestions on how you could better capture that with a camera? Or is it just the effect that would get lost on camera? You know what I think it is with those color shift paints? Because it's called, what, dichromatic? I think is what the effect is called. And you know what I realized what it was? Is when you're looking at it with your right eye and you're looking at it with your left eye at the same time, you're seeing different colors at play. Like when you look at it with just your right eye and you're looking at the model, you'll see more of one color. And then when you look with your left eye, you'll see more of another color, right? And of course it all depends on how the lights are positioned and, you know. But yeah, I think it has to do with our eyes. I think that's why the camera does not pick it up very well. The camera does not pick up the color shifting because I think it relies on our eyes to perceive the two things at once, if that makes sense. I mean, I could be way off. I don't know. That's just a guess. I just, you know, looking at the model with, you know, different eyes, and it does change, you know. Yeah, so the other thing though I want to do is now that with those color shift paints, they recommend it going on top of black, but I also tried it on top of clear plastic, and I actually got a fairly interesting result. And so, which leads me to think that I'm going to actually try it on different colors. Like for example, the color shift red gold, which was the first one I showed there for the Eldar Wraithgate. I keep calling it Wraithgate, Webway Gate. I'm going to try it on top of a dark red. So I'm gonna go pick up some gloss. I'm gonna go look for probably a glossy red, glossy green, and then probably like a glossy gray, just to try out and see if that makes much of a difference on how the base looks. because again, like I said, I tried it on clear, and I could hold it up to the light, and I could see everything through it. Now it made it a little bit foggy, but I could see the colors through. And then, like, when you looked at it one perspective, I didn't even see the paint on the surface. And then when I tilted it, you could see all the colors at play. And so it was all within how, you know, we're perceiving this thing. And yeah, so I'm kind of curious. I want to try it out with some different colors paint. Just, you know, just to see what kind of results. Because I mean, like I said, like if I can make that color shift red gold look really, really awesome on a bright red, like the rest of my Sam Han stuff, man, guess what I'll be doing? Yeah. And, you know, holographic. I'm not sure what the holographic, the black seems to work fine. I think within the video, though, I did apply too much to the surface, which would imply that you probably can overkill the paint. But with all the other colors, it seemed like as soon as I got to that red state, or that wet, the kind of smooth, wet state, I stopped. But when I did it for the holographic, it seemed to overkill the effect. So, I don't know. But yeah. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Kris, if you calibrated the cameras correctly, a 3D video of the Mini should show the effect. Perhaps something to try in the future. To do a 3D video, the way true 3D video is done, I'd need two cameras on the go. Like I'd have to have two cameras essentially, like binoculars, filming. Although 3D tutorials might be a thing. I don't know. Would 3D tutorials be cool? Like, would that be the way to go in the future? Is doing 3D tutorials? How cheap are 3D cameras? I can't imagine anything under $50,000. But would a 3D tutorial work? Or even doing like the red blue? I don't know. I'm speculating here. Voice of the Emperor. To be honest, most GW staff are fairly cool. However, some are a little odd. Some don't actually drink the Kool-Aid. At least in the UK, I found. Yeah. No, there's some they're indoctrinated. Zandrate. Wonder if a 360 cam would pick it up. It's still a single lens though. And I mean, a single lens that's perceived. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't see it because our eyes are in two different points from a single point of light. So this eye is perceiving light differently than this eye, right? And I think that's part of how that effect works. If I'm right, I could be completely wrong about how this paint shift works. More research has to be done, I think. Ryan Ironwolf over on Twitch. Go full VR for painting tutorials. VR, is that possible to go full VR? I don't even know. These are all new to me, man. It's new to me. Old Man Logan. Hey Kris, have you had a chance to check out the new Knight Valiant or Castellan? Are they bigger than Imperial Knights or about the same size with different loadouts? I think they're about the same size with different loadouts. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're much bigger. Voice of the Emperor. I'm sure he'll lighten up or be replaced if he's scaring customers away. Zandrate. Not perfectly, but it's multiple exposures. As you spin the 360, you might get the shift. Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, video is the best way of trying to capture that shift. Still photography, not so much, right? At least it's going to be hard to perceive it. Again, I mean, it's a binocular type type thing that's going on there. Just from my observations of looking at it, because I mean, like I've looked at it with one eye, looked at it with the other eye, and saw two different things. You know, so. G squared. No, I think he'll stay. He's just too intense. Then he goes outside to vape. Other than pet peeve of mine, vaping. You don't like vaping, G? No. Neither do I. I don't care for vaping either. I mean, I think it's silly. I think it's ridiculous. And you know, 10 years from now, they're gonna go. You know what? Everybody that was vaping, guess what? You've got this. You know, you found yourself more susceptible to pneumonia now, or you know, other chest colds or diseases or you know symptoms. I mean, like, you don't know what it is, and people are just it's like me saying, you know what? I found that using biting the ends of the mouse buttons off, it's good for your health. It helped me from smoking, and I'll sit here and I'll bite the ends of the mouse buttons off. You'll get 100 other people doing it. You know what I mean? And ruining your teeth. I mean, like it's freaking crazy. People are crazy out there, man. People are crazy. They're crazy. Ben Ellis, the new nights are just a bit wider. Okay. Aqua, there is a GoPro 3D camera with 2 lenses, which is €116. Really? Interesting. Send me a link, Aqua. G squared, have you looked at the clouds from both sides now? Whoa, what? that sounds deep. That sounds deep. Hold on. Have you looked at the clouds from both sides now? That's some deep stuff, man. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. George hints a 3D camera has more than one lens. Check out cameras that used to be in the filming of the Hobbit movies. Yeah, I know they're 2 camera lenses. I know it's a binocular type thing, but are they $50,000 is what I want to know. Are there cheaper options? Ghost Servant looks like Kris. I believe they actually have linked vaping to brain cancer. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if the part of the brain that was susceptible to gullibility, I'm sure that it affects that part of the brain. Aqua, wow, what? Ghost Servant looks. Again, that part of the brain where for gullibility, Aqua. Come on, man, come on. Use your damn brains, people. Ghost to Star Red Deluxe. That may be BS, though. I saw it on Insta ages ago, though. G squared, it's from a song, and you were talking about binocular cameras. The leg ruins all my best jokes. Zandrate, okay, off to try 3D printing some bits for a Demon Prince. May check back when I'm waiting on the print. Cool. Very cool. Very exciting. What kind of 3D printer did you get? Was it the Prouse USA one or whatever it is? 3D Prouse, I think that's what it is. Prouse, 3D Prouse. Can't remember what the hell it's called. George hints they are cheaper. They are cheaper. Red 3D camera. Yeah, red 3. Yeah, but how cheaper? Need a dollar amount here, man. Because I mean, Aqua's telling me there's a 3D camera for $115. You know what I mean? Like, and I know the red cameras are in the $10,000 range. So I mean, what are we talking about here? Pixel Hobo, what kind of lighting would you suggest while painting, not streaming, just so you get great lighting? Oh man, great lighting. Get yourself if you need like a desk lamp, even angle pose, whatever. Kind of bulb you'll want. If you're still using tungsten bulbs, you'll want something that is called daylight. Okay, they'll often be used for like growing plants or something like that, but that's going to give you the truest white light. Otherwise, you'll want a fluorescent, if you're going with the new Eco Save bulbs, whatever. You'll want one that goes anywhere from 5,000K to 5,000K or 5,500K. If it stays within that range, that'll be pretty good for painting. That'll cast a nice white light. You want to paint under a white light because that way it will not affect how you're viewing the colors. Because when you view the colors here and you go outside, you go to a neighbor's place, you go to his local store, it's all going to look the same, right? Versus if you work from an old tungsten bulb which casts a yellow light, or if you're working with like a cheaper bulb that is less than 5,000 K, say it's 4,000 some K, that'll cast more of a yellowish light, and that can tint your viewing of the colors you're mixing. So if you were trying to color match something you had before and then we're doing it and then it's, oh, okay, it looks the same, and then you go into daylight and they don't look the same, it's like, well, what the heck, you know? That's because that light changed your perception of what colors you were looking at. So that's the kind of thing you need to be looking for. And I would suggest an angle pose, but I mean, there's some really nice lamps that kind of come across. Bright Tech, I did a video for them. They have a really nice one, which is a ring light, and it has a big diopter magnifying glass in the middle. Getting old like me helps to have something like that, you know, just to kind of help with assemblies, to help with fine details, stuff like that. But it has a nice ring light, which is actually fantastic because it illuminates all the way around your subject matter when you're working. And so that's really good. And in fact, that's something that I probably should have in my camera setup, but I have like 3 lights on the go anyway, which just basically fill my image with light anyway. But if I had just one light, yeah, it would be a ring light. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Pixel. Yeah. But you want to have it. You want to have your light so it's nice and close. It's better to work with, you know, these new these new neon bulbs or whatever the hell they are. LED bulbs. It's better to work with them because they don't burn hot. You can have the light nice and close to your face while you're working, and you do want to have your light projected onto what you're working on because you want to have lots of light, because if you have lots of light, it doesn't strain your eyes. Okay, so you always want to work with lots of bright light. Like, my glasses have not really changed much in years and years of doing this hobby. Why? Because I've always worked with lots of bright light. I've never strained my eyes. Knock on wood. So, yeah. Aqua, you put the link in Discord? Cool, thank you. Voice of the Emperor. Lighting? Daylight bulbs all the way. Yes, of course, daylight bulbs, right? George Hint says 2,199 US. Okay, cool. That's not bad. That's actually not a bad price. That's fairly doable. That's within the range of mini wargaming going, you know what, maybe that is something we'll look at. The thing is, though, is what is the benefit? What would be the benefit of doing 3D tutorials versus doing them regularly, right? Because, first of all, to do them 3D, we'd have to do 2 post-processings on the video. One for 3D and one for standard. Standard because people out there are going to want to watch the video, you know, are going to want to watch it and they'll bitch if they can't. And the 3D one, you know, what would be the benefit of the 3D? What's the benefit of 3D? Like, in that regards, like, seeing nuance and where paint is going. Yeah, I don't know. Giant Shop. I went to my local GW store and said I don't card about the game. I don't care about the game, I guess. I just like the paint and the minis. The shop manager lost his shit. Will not go back. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I'd complain to Games Workshop for that. Manager screams at you because you like painting. Who cares? If you're buying their product, that's all that matters. He's there just to push that product on you. He's not there to judge. If he's judging, then no, he's an idiot. Matt Hoser, illuminate this. Eldari Lamborghini, brakes squeaking. I have arrived. Pixel Hobo, excellent. Thanks for the input. No problem, man. Just remember, bright light. Bright light. It's going to save your eyeballs in the long run. The voice of the Emperor. Asshats like that give the hobby bad name. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Definitely. They're the kind of people that you want to take out back and just kind of kick the crap out of. And when I was a younger man, I used to. Mind you, Kris wasn't always a nice guy. Matt Hoser, lighting, strain, and vision changes our myth. Our myth. George says that that price was used. Okay, that was used. Oh, okay. Well, what was brand new then? Voice of the Emperor. I find that they get replaced fairly soon. To be honest, a complaint at the head office is advisable. Also, may sound harsh, but they don't deserve to be in charge of a store, in my opinion. No. I mean, he's there just to push the product. That's all. That's his job. Push the product. Okay. When somebody comes in and says, "Oh, I only like to work with with the Citadel paints," and and he goes, "Well, you're not using, you're not playing the game. Well, then you're not even a hobbyist. Get out." You know what I mean? Like, no, shut up. Guy's an idiot. You know what it is? It's the comic book store guys. The comic book store guys, like from Simpsons, the comic book store guy. It's those guys that kind of bug me sometimes. The ones that take these things way too seriously within their own little boxed in worlds, a very narrow view of everything, and boring. Matt Hoser, how are you going to sell you more product if you don't play the game? Doesn't matter. If you were just a collector of models, I could have you walking out of the store with way more models than you were thinking you were going to walk out of with. Never mind playing the game. Tease the game, whatever. But models, oh yeah. The friggin' models practically sell themselves. I mean, they're so cool looking. For Age of Sigmar or 40k. They're just awesome. Ben Ellis, benefit of 3D, maybe it comes to panning around a paint example a bit. Sure. G Squared, the voice of the Emperor, I would personally refrain from calling him names. It's just like Kris said, too judgmental. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you're judgmental, sometimes, I'm relaxed. It all depends what kind of mood I'm in, really. Nick Dumont, diffuse the light as well. Oh yeah, diffuse the light as well. Well, most lights now will have a bit of diffuser on them. Like I said, like the one that I have that has the magnifying glass and the ring light, it has a diffuser on it. My lamp that I have over here, it has a diffuser on it. It just helps, but it's not integral. It's not that important. You need the diffuser if you're recording it, if you're taking video or whatever. Then you'll want the diffuser. Or taking photos, you'll want the diffuser. Old Man Logan, my GW store manager is pretty cool. He knows I don't really play and I'm a painter. Always remembers me even though I don't go in often. Sucks that you got some bad apples. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's anywhere. That's anywhere, anything, any situation. You're always going to have bad apples. Anything in life. Everything. No matter what. Yeah. That's just life. Ben Ellis, there's been a reason behind why that GW manager is like that. If it keeps going, then contact them via the link ukserves at gwpic.com. gwplc.com. Eldar Lamborghini, I love my local gaming store. The nearest GWs across the border are 2 hours up the 401. The local gaming store is awesome. And max relax. Max relax. They don't care what you play with, within reason. Oh, that's cool. No spaghetti noodle monster soldiers. Why? Who's played with spaghetti noodles? Who's played with spaghetti noodles? I know at one of our Apocalypticons, a kid was playing with a coffee can as a stompa. Now it wasn't like it was painted or anything. It was like it was a coffee can with, like, I think, a gun sticking out of it, and that was his stompa. And we were kind of like, all right, whatever. But yeah. it's just kind of crappy when you got your painted army, and I'm sitting here with my my vampire hunter, and it's flying overhead, and there's a coffee can. And it's like whatever. Oh well. Dark Commission, there he is. Hey all, late to the party for once. Now I sat in the back. Matt Hoser, GW sales is the end all be all. They don't care what GW fans, managers think. Speak with any of the past GW manager. Your way could be selling more models. They don't care. You toe the line or you're out. Team Corporalists? F yeah. Well, yeah, that's true too. I mean, they're always towing the corporate line. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Want to do me a favor? Just like a centimeter of cream, rest coffee. Less than a centimeter. Buddy. Pal. I was waiting for him to get up. I know, like, you're all thinking, it's 2 o'clock, man. That man is just getting up. Like, I know, the life of a college student. Aaron Seach, you would think that someone who just wants to build and paint models would cause the store owner to see all kinds of dollar signs that the customer, what a douche. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, who cares why they're in there buying product? As long as they're buying product. That's the bottom line. Who cares why they're in there? If they're in there, buy product. Ben Ellis, my local GW manager, doesn't push anything as he knows we will sell it ourselves unless we have never been through the door before. Yeah. Ramby, hey monkeys, hi Kris, hey. Ben Ellis, episode quirks with GW, but only one Dave. Oh, thank you, my boy. Thank you. I take back all those things I said about you. Ghost Experiment Deluxe. To be fair, is using a giant coffee cup with guns strapped to it orky? I think we all know the answer. Aqua. Jesus, only realized it was 20 past 7. Ah, yeah. Voice of the Emperor. Who's the coffee monkey? The coffee monkey is my boy. My boy. Alex. I think I've had Alex on once or twice on Way of the Brush. I did a special, like, way back when. I think it was, like, episode 100, I think. Might have been longer. Where I did a 4-hour show where I was painting a miniature, and he was basically working my switchboard. And he was working with the cameras and everything like that. And so, yeah. That was a long time ago. Have you guys, do any of you guys watch any of the really older episodes? You know what I mean? Like the really old episodes? Because I'm sure there's some gold in there somewhere in those nuggets. Trying to shout, coffee monkey, coffee. Yeah, what? Mad Hoser. Older episodes, ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, an old episode, like a rerun, man. It's a rerun. It's unfortunate that Twitch doesn't keep all the old ones, because when it used to be Justin TV, all the only one episode remained from the original 10 that I had done. It was unfortunate. Eldari Lamborghini. I like the older ones. Helpful when painting and for laughs. Matt Hoser, episode 208. Promoted to Coffee Monkey from Camboy. I kind of like it. Ben Ellis. I'm in the old mini wargaming shows. Matt looks about 12. Yeah, he does. He does, and you know what though? Matt really he changed the first time he went to England, and he took his wife and kids with him. He came back and he was like gray, like he was like, whoa, dude! It was It's like Lord of the Rings, right? When, Gandalf the Grey takes off and he's gray, and then he comes back and he's Gandalf the White, and it's like, whoa, and it's like Matthew the brown comes back, Matthew the Grey, and it's like, whoa, it's like, oh my god, dude, what happened to your hair? It's funny though. I think that's why I haven't gone to the UK yet, because I don't want to come back all gray. Voice of the Emperor. Old episodes. I may have to take a trip down that rabbit hole. Yeah, the old episodes, man. Because when I started doing Way the Brush again, I started from episode 11 on YouTube. So episode 11, it was the re-beginning, was the redo. 1 to 10 is lost to time in Justin TV land. There was only one episode that made it to Twitch, and I posted a link at one point. But now I don't know where that episode is gone. It's disappeared as well. So, I don't know. Ghost Starman Deluxe. When I first found out about the show, I watched quite a few older episodes. Don't have much free time at the moment because of GCSEs. I don't know what that is. Pixel Hobo. My only problem with GW is how certain items sell are quick, but are slow to restock. Citadel paint handles comes to mind. Yeah. Better easy way not to go gray. Avail London? Oh, or avoid London. Just avoid London altogether. Voice of the Emperor. It's harsh over here in the UK. Is it harsh? Maybe, I don't know. Old Man Logan. Email. Only about half hour left of the show. Oh, yeah. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Conspiracy theory. Matt was killed in England and replaced by a spy from GW. Yeah. It could have been. Could have been. G squared. Hashtag Chris Bella nice about Matt's transformation. Oh. Victor, I'm a fan of watching the clip when I sent in my Harbinger. That model makes people speechless for a minute. Mad Hoser Pixel. That just means that you need to buy a handle from Kris. Oh wait, he didn't restock them either. No, I know. I gotta get on that. Along with many other things, man. Many things. I gotta kick myself in the ass, I guess. I don't know. Ben Ellis. GCSE is secondary school qualifications. Oh, okay. Exams you do in the UK at the age 15 to 16. Gotcha. Exams you take before leaving secondary school. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know. Jeez Louise. Voice of the Emperor. Hashtag I'm too slow. Alright, let's do an email. Headphones. And again, thank you to Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Carl, a.k.a. Beer Blubble. That's his channel. Check him out. For taking the time to create these little jingles that we all know and love. Headphones. Email time. It's email time. Alright, so this is from... Who the heck was this from? This is from Luke. Greetings from Sherwood Forest. Oh, great monkey lord. I am in need of your wisdom. I am currently assembling a Redemptor Dreadnought, and I need your advice on the plasma, as it is shooting at vines that are attacking it from the ground. The pose isn't final yet. Torso, legs, and arms are not attached, and Blue Tack is holding in position with some examples of vines, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. The idea is that vines have attacked. The Dreadnought has pinned one of its foot to the rock or tree, grabbing the other end with his huge fist and then pulling it taut so they can cut it down with a plasma shot. It will be a Dark Angles Dreadnought, and I have my color scheme for the armor, but I don't know what color to do the plasma. How would you paint the beam of super hot plasma that is shooting out? As unlike 2D plasma on the gun, the beam will be 3D. 3D. We're back to 3D again. I appreciate any advice you offer. Love the show. Regards, Luke, aka Ronan the Retriever. And so let's have a look at his example here. And so basically, he is like he's falling over. The vines are grabbing at him, and he's blasting away. And I like the idea. Big Redemptor Dreadnought, or is it Redemptor? Whatever. Very, very cool. And so he's going to have like the vines and stuff like that, and like he's kind of falling over, and he's grabbing this, and he's like blasting that apart. Or this is the part he's blasting apart. Is that the part? Is the part that part? Which part? I don't know. Whatever part. If this is the part that's getting blasted, I think that's a lot of fun. We'll give you some opportunity to like create some like movement off the vines, like some of the kind of like the flesh of the vine is like peeling back and stuff like that. I think that would offer something very interesting there. I think the vines attacking is a really interesting idea. I think there should be like a lot. I think like the Dreadnought should feel like it's mired in vines. And so I think the overall composition of everything could move forward a bit on the base. I don't know if you really need this big rock here, or is that just for support? Either way, I don't think you really need that. I think if he kind of felt like he's being pulled down, so like for example, here like I'll quick like we're looking at him face wise, right? And so like his one hip is dipping in, so like the tentacles are like grabbing up at him, and his other foot is like rising up, right? So like his other foot's rising up, but the tentacles are kind of coming up and grabbing it, and maybe one has already kind of got it wrapped around, and so it feels like he's in the center, and he's already got his tentacles kind of wrapped around, and then we have like that one big bundle of tentacles that he's blasting, and then maybe the hint of another big bundle behind him. So you kind of have this symmetry, like, you know what I mean? Like all these vines are kind of like twirling up around him kind of thing. And so he can already have like that big bundle, and he's grabbed it, and he's kind of like stepping up, and he's like trying to stay on top of it, and then he's blasting it, and he's blowing out all the vine material out that way, right? Now I totally dig this composition. I think this is gonna be fantastic if you can pull it off. I'm really excited to see where you go with this. I don't think it really needs that big rock. I think I'd put him more centrally towards the base. I think I'd have the 1 foot standing. I think you can elevate maybe the composition a bit, like have him raised up on the base a bit, you know, so the ground and stuff like that, and then have the tentacles just kind of coming up, like, you know, kind of grabbing around, and then his other foot is like maybe like it got out, like his other foot got out, but the other tentacles grabbing on, and then have like 2 of those big bundles. Like one looks like it's kind of like just emanating from behind him, like it's just starting up behind him, and the other one has been there a little bit longer, so he's had time to grab it and then blast it. I think that would be really cool. Let's go back to your pictures here. So yeah, I'm really digging the idea. I don't think you need that big rock in the composition. Like I said, I think I'd have him more central, with tentacles kind of all around him, and having one big one kind of coming up behind him, like it's sneaking up on him kind of thing. Yeah. But I think that big bundle of vines, tentacles, I keep calling tentacles the vines, I think that should look like that it was from that bundle of vines. So it looks like he grabbed that big bundle and blasted it, and then, you know, he's got like the vine debris going everywhere. But yeah, I don't think you need that rock. I think what you want for these vines, I don't know if you're using it or not, but I think you're going to want some very thin gauged wire to be your armature within each of the vines. Especially the vine that's the hand is grabbing hold of. But yeah, so what was your other color? Oh, what color to do the plasma? The plasma, if you're doing him like a Dark Angels, the plasma, I mean, you can always stick with the cyan, which is really light blue. That's fine. I also see some Dark Angels where they go with more of a bright orangey red, which looks really cool. I wouldn't really do green because you're gonna have the vines. Well, it depends on what color you do the vines, I guess. If the vines aren't green, the vines are something else. That'd be kind of cool. But if you do the vines green and he's green, and the plasma shot is like cyan or even bright, even magenta. That's it, magenta. Do it bright. Do it magenta. Do the coils magenta and do the plasma burst magenta. How would you do the plasma burst? I would do the plasma burst in Dragon Ball Z. How you have like a little sphere, and then you kind of have like these kind of like spikes coming out from it, but then so it's like heading in this direction, and so the spikes are going this way. That's how I imagine like plasma looks when it's blasted out of the guns. Like if you could see the plasma, right? Because really, it's super hot, superheated gas is plasma, right? It's not a laser weapon. It's a plasma is different. It's superheated gas, and I imagine it's more like a ball. So like it's like the gun creates a little ball, and then the coils like a rail gun. It's an electromagnetic field, and it sends that ball of plasma out. That's how I imagine plasma guns, and that's why I imagine plasma guns being dangerous, because when you're sitting there and you're charging up that little ball of plasma, you know what I mean? You can go too far, and then as soon as and then bang, it blows up in the barrel because it was too hot. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how I imagine. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how they supercharge it, right? Because it's like, woo, and it's getting this big ball of plasma, and then it fires a big ball, and But I imagine it's something like Dragon Ball Z kind of thing, where it's like this kind of superheated ball is just flying across, and you see like those long contrails coming from behind it, that kind of thing. But however you want to do it whatever way you want. I think if you can get away, if you can do it, if you can pull it off, I think you should try and do it in clear plastic. Do the plasma effect in a clear plastic, clear resin. Sculpt something, mold it, cast it in clear resin, and then glue it into place and make that, yeah. Oh man, even better. Put an LED in the end of the plasma ball, and then just run the line inside the gun like that, and just Don't even have to worry about creating OSL in the model, because the actual LED will throw light everywhere, and it'll be fantastic, and it'll blow people's minds. That's what I do. I think it's a fun idea. I don't think you need the rock in that base. I think I move the whole composition centrally. Vines are grabbing onto his one leg. Vines are attempting to grab his other leg that he's lifting up, or maybe he's broken it free. You know what I mean? And so like the vines are like, oh, they couldn't hold on. And then there's like one big tentacle coming up behind him, and then the other big tentacles are tentacles. I keep calling them tentacles. Vines are coming up, and then he's grabbed one of them, and he's like, and he's blasted it. You know what I mean? It's this whole moment where he's on some death world, and he's trying to escape, and he's gonna get squished by vines. I think it's a fantastic idea. I'm hoping that you follow through with this and come to a final piece. But yeah, I think it sounds like a lot of fun. And Luke, I wish you all the luck getting that done. By all means. By all means. Where are we in the comments here? Dark Commission, episode 208. New paint, Mid-Atlantic Gray. That's a new paint? Mid-Atlantic. From who? Games Workshop? No. The voice of the Emperor, episode 208. Dark Angles. They're all obtuse. I love it. I'm using it, and I'm keeping the little winky face too. I love it. It's good. You win. You win. Ball. Whatcha? Oh man. Oh, Mid-Atlantic Gray. I just seen Tolo's comment. Or Matt Hoser's comment. Ben asks, how about a vine around a leg? Yeah, yeah, like vine, yeah, just kind of like it's just coming up. Even like vines coming up the body, you know what I mean? Like one or two kind of like just kind of grabbing onto points and just, you know what I mean? Like he's being pulled down kind of thing, right? I think it'd be very cool. I think if you can get that sense of of gravity of it being pulled in, I think it would be very cool. Would pull that composition off. G squared at Kris. Yeah, clear plastic mold. That'd be easy. And sarcasm. No, not a clear plastic mold, but cast it in clear plastic. Not clear plastic, but clear resin, which is plastic. But yeah, and it is easy. It's very easy. Nick Dumont. Can they hot glue for the plasma ball? If it fails, at least it could be cheap. Sure. You could use hot glue. You could use... Well, I mean, you don't have to use anything clear. You could use opaque material and just paint it, you know? Nothing wrong with that. Just think of something, you know, kind of visually kind of fun, you know? Matt Hoser, UK, Gray, Matt? Yeah, I know. I get it now. I get it. Matt came back with that Mid-Atlantic Gray. I got it. Ben Ellis, Awakened Realms, it's been around 10 months. Oh, working on your Warlord, yeah. Any more work on that, Ben? Is it done yet? Jim White, that's an acute comment. Ben Ellis, hopefully they get a shuffle on now. I raised it with them. You raised it with them. I don't know what that means. Nick Dumont, also check with WizKids for spells made in primed clear plastic for plasma. Okay. G squared. Another pet peeve, misspelled angles. Angels or vice versa. Yeah, I know, that's why I thought it was funny. Voice of the Emperor, whoop! First time I've won anything. Well, Voice of the Emperor, you won my admiration for today's title. That's very good. G squared, I knew what you meant. Just didn't say it correctly, but thanks for nitpicky correction. Ben Ellis, oh, you raised the issue. Oh, really? Because they've had it for about 10 months. Why did but did they give you a time frame? Or did you say, oh, whatever, you know, like, whenever you get it done? Or if you said, no, I want it back in like 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, because, yeah, I mean, because if they gave you a time frame and they're beyond the time frame, then, you know, I mean, you got to say, hey, I'm paying you guys a lot of money to get this done. Like, I'm sure you guys probably don't have 10 Warlord Titans sitting there. You know what I mean? Paying you a lot of money for a single miniature here. So, yeah, I mean, raise the issue, man. I mean, come on. Customer service, right? Customer service. Customer is always right. Well, not always, but we pretend. Ben Ellis, an update should be mid next week, but I think it was just the torso frame. Interesting. I keep going and go over this way. What time are we at here? Holy man, we got 15 minutes of this show. Oh my god. Oh my god. Say it ain't so. Let's do another email because we can and we shall. This one is from David. Hi, Kris. This week's painting wasn't dwarf related because some company who will remain nameless went and released giant suits that I had to paint. It wasn't optional. They made me do it. I feel I free-handed the designs, so I know they aren't perfect, but I'm happy with the effect. Oh, and his name is Sir Totatus of House Mar. Because everyone needs to feel special. Keep on being great, and thanks so much for Way of the Brush and my fiance watch it together every weekend, Dave White. Well, thank you, Dave. Let's have a look at his work. Now, is it free-handed? I thought that was transfers at first. I would say that's some pretty damn good freehanding, buddy. I'd say that's pretty damn good right there. I thought that was transfer right there. The blade I could see was there, but I mean, like, also too. Oh yeah, man, I didn't even realize that was free-handed as well. That's all free-handed. You're tricking me, tricking me. But yeah, the edges on the well, the whole pad is free-handed. You can see the chest armor or whatever. Little dragoon, very cool. Do you have a background in drawing, David? Do you? Very nice. I like the color scheme. I like the white. The white isn't cold white. It's a warm white because of the shadows you used. It has that dirtier earthen tone, so it has the white almost feels more like a cream. Mar. Mar. But I like it though. I like the color scheme. It's very cool. Very cool. Kind of a filigree thing, but kind of a yin-yangy kind of thing going on. How very unimperial. Kind of a yin-yang. Let's all just live in peace, brothers. But very nice work, David. Thank you so much for sending that in. Awesome stuff. And yeah, I mean, right from that first part there, looking at that shoulder pad, how you did the icons in it, and then I realized that you had done the outer trim on the shoulders as well. I thought that was very good. And again, do you have a history or a past of drawing? Like, do you have a background in drawing, or is this something new? Like, is drawing something new for you? Because I mean, you did a pretty damn good job there. So I need to know. Call it my need to know. My need to know. Ben Ellis, is one of the shoulder pads dwarf related / inspired? Yeah, it kind of does, eh? Kind of the little swirly whirl. Yeah. Voice of the Emperor. Damn YouTube, still switching to other videos as I'm watching. Weird. Jim White, very good work. Yeah. I think everybody approves of Dave's piece. His piece. You know, his piece. No, we're not going down that road. Okay, so let me. What time are we at here? We got 10 minutes left. Oh, we got lots of time. Lots of time. Okay. We got another one from Nick. Nick Dumont. We'll do this email too. This one actually might take us a little bit. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Just finished up my Alexia and the Risen project and wanted to have a little fun. Noticed I had some of my Menoth nearby and had some more fun. The Risen are painted to resemble armies of local players. The water is layered, washes and glazes with gloss all over it. Blue, gray paint, sepia wash, green glass, then dark blue wash to be specific. Blood Bowl dwarves are painted to be quick and done standard. Armor in bright silver with 2 coats of blue glaze. Rest is just base wash. Orcs are built with my bits pile. Wanted it to have particular character to my to have more character to my personal team. Jeez Louise. So far, just have throwers and a few blitzies. Still in progress with some of these. Up for suggestion for one of the missing. A hand to have in its place. CNC welcome. Thanks, Nick Dumont. So, let's have a look here. And then there's a part 2 to this as well. Or the same thing. Might be the same thing. Who knows? Either way, here's his Alexia and Risen. I like it. I like her cloak. I like her, what the hell are those guys called with the swords? The big guys that she makes? With the big guys with swords? Thralls? No, the little guys are the thralls, aren't they? I can't remember. I like the bases. I like to have the kind of dockwork, kind of sludgy kind of, environment thing going on there. The skeleton dudes are painted to a particular kind of army scheme, so you're doing it against your buddies. Very cool. Manoth, very cool. Kind of reminds me of Owen's color scheme for Manoth. Just dark with dry brushings. But at least you got golds and stuff on here, and you took the time to pick out the icons. Meaning you went further than he did. It's actually quite a bit of work, like on your Risen. More work than I was willing to do, because I just made my Risen look like they're little ghosts. I didn't even bother making them look like actual dead bodies, like zombies. But very nice. Yeah, these guys, I like these guys. These guys are cool. These look nice. I like how they mirror Alexia. Ooh, Dolph! Oh, he's got some metallic blue going on there. Very nice. I think a bit more contrast in the hair. Just some more deeper points in the hair near the mouth. And maybe some brighter highlights near the ends of the fibers and stuff like that. Like on the tips of the hair and mohawk. How are you doing your metallic blue? Because that looks like it's silver and then you're throwing maybe calif blue on top of it or ghost tints on top of it. How are you doing your blue? Please let me know. Because that's very interesting because I like how you got the mid-tones in there. I realized that because I mean here's something that might trip you out. If you dried them upside down and allowed that shade wash to build this way, like to build upwards, like I'm looking at the back plate here on the left guy, and you can see how it gets brighter blue down at the bottom, right? There's more blue, but if you let him dry upside down, the opposite would have happened, and that would have automatically given you a non-metallic metal effect, right? And so, yeah. But very cool color scheme. Yeah, I really love that vibrant blue in there. That's really nice. I gotta, like, Nick, Nick, you're still here, aren't you? Let me see here. Nick. No, Nick's not answering yet. But yeah, that's really, really cool. Since these are work in progress, I mean, I don't really have anything to say about them. I mean, other than I really dig the blue, and yeah, I'm looking forward to more. I like Buddy with the football above his head, and he's still got the little knuckle dusters there. I like the other guy outreaching, grabbing the ball. I think that's really good. Wow, these are some old orcs. Yeah, get rid of those mold lines. Please get rid of those mold lines. Otherwise, no, I honestly, I don't have anything to say. I mean, they look pretty darn good. Buddy's left hand, could he have another one of those big dusters like Buddy has on the right? Or even like what you did for the catcher, where he has the little spike ball? Or just give him a hook hand. I'm sure you have one of those little old truck hooks. Maybe he's got a hook hand. Maybe it's something he tries and use for, for fouling. But very, very cool. Thank you, Nick, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. And, yeah. Nick. Oh, there's Nick. Okay, what is Nick says that blue is Gilliman blue, 2 coats, and orange bras. Ben Ellis, for non-metallics, I keep using purples and off blues, but there are others that work well. Sure. Yeah. There's lots. But because what Nick is doing is he's laying metals down and then he's throwing that blue glaze on top to give him a blue metallic. But what I'm liking is how, because it looks like he's doing it by brush, so he's having to lay it on by hand. But as it dries, it's settling down, right? Whereas if he'd allowed it to dry upside down, then all that blue would settle in the high points, and then all he would have to do is put an edge highlight on it, and it would look like non-metallic metal, because non-metallic metal is dark on top and then brighter at the bottom. and he would already have this amazing kind of look on his models, and I think that would be really, really cool. So yeah, so Gilliman Blue, eh? Interesting. I'll have to try that. Dark Commission at Kris. Have you tried Green Stuff World Chameleon Color Shift paints? They are acrylic rather than solvent based. I have not. I had seen those ever since they started hinting at those things. I've wanted to get my hands on them. I just have not. But I am skeptical of how vibrant a color shift they are. I'm hearing some people say they color shift really, really great, and I'm hearing some people say they don't color shift all that well. They don't. It's hard to see the effect. Now, I don't know if that's because some people don't know what they're doing, or some people who are just, just amazed at the effect at all. I have no idea. And the other thing is, too, is that the Green Stuff Worlds, their videos, they don't really show the effect all that well either. And so some people might be biased against that as well. They're looking at that on the camera and going, I don't see anything. And they actually, in reality, may shift a lot of colors back at you because, again, two eyes, right? Looking at it. And so, yeah, I mean, they actually might work very, very well. The only thing is, though, that I'm a little bit leery about is that the pigment density, okay? Because I've used the Spaztix Color Shift paint, which is a lacquer-based paint, and the flakes are just minuscule. It's like powder almost. Like they're so small, the flakes of mica and whatever the metal flakes are. Versus, remember when I did the nail polish, Color Shift nail polish, and you could see the flakes on the surface, right? And I'm thinking that this acrylic one will be a similar thing. I'm thinking that it's because, again, for a lot of these metals and things like that, they have to reside within these really harsh chemicals. Whatever they're using to create these effects, it seems like they have to reside within these harsh chemicals. And getting them to a non-toxic acrylic product, it seems to lose a lot of something. Like a lot of the paints, especially with metallics in lacquer-based products are just way better than water-based acrylics for whatever reason. Whatever the suspension fluid and whatever reason, whatever product, like whatever reason why the pigments are so small in that, like why can't that transfer over? Why can't they just use that small pigment in an acrylic base? I don't understand. Like why can't we get chrome paint in an acrylic, right? Because there are no water-based acrylics that are chrome, like mirror chrome. Like you guys see me use Spaztix and Molotovs. Those are mirror chrome because they're lacquer-based. We've not seen an acrylic chrome, and I don't think we will. Not for a while. Not until somebody reinvents how to create those pigments to suspend within the fluids that's non-toxic. Because that seems to be the big thing, right? Is it's got to be non-toxic. I don't know. Eldari Lamborghini, quick reference question. Gemstones, the light pools at the bottom. Yes. And is brighter, whereas the top is dark with the white spot. Yes. The gemstone, just like non-metallic metal effect, gets brighter at the bottom. Gemstones, and I recently just did some videos on gemstones on the Waygate. So if you want a refresher, those new videos they're posted. And I often do a crescent shape, almost like it's a crescent shape, and I come in and I go up one side of the gemstone, and then I'll do another smaller one, and I'll do almost like J's. I make J's. Is really kind of what it is. Matt Hoser, I'm going to make and sell the best color shift paint ever. It will be edible, white acrylic laced with LSD. Lick the paint and then just paint. And you'll see all the colors. Yeah. Dark Commission, I'll get a pack of chameleon paints and let you know. Yeah, sure. It's on my list on top of other products that I still have to buy and get. Aqua, holy, look at the time. Eldari, thanks, no problem. it is 3:01. We're done, I think, for the day. If you're brand new to the hobby, and you have some questions you need answered, or you're commission paying service, you're looking to drum up extra exposure, or you just want to show off what you're working on, send your emails to Kris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. Of course, you can also join me at waythebrush.com, which has links to all the social media. It'll be the Instagrams, the Twitters, and everything like that. And of course, you can also join us on the Facebook page where you can ask your questions there and join us on Facebook. You can also join us on Discord. I have that thing open 24/7. We usually jump into Discord after Way the Brush, kind of an after party thing, and I would highly recommend just joining us there anyway. We have that going all week long. We just talk, and we have many channels on many different sillinesses and things like that. I won't be joining anybody on Discord today because got family and everything over, so we'll be busy with that. So yeah. So waythebrush.com, of course. Way the Brush T-shirts available at waythebrush.com. Of course, if you want to look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this universe, and a connoisseur of everything that is right, Way the Brush says it all. And of course, many different sizes and styles, along with like the little monkey logo right here, like him. I've got him on a T-shirt as well, so he's a little bit fun. Getting a monkey miniature, that's still in the works. Don't worry. Don't worry about that one either. What else? Oh, and of course, yes, and if you have purchased a shirt and you have not done so already, send me a picture of yourself in your shirt so that I can put it on the monkey shrine, because, it's all about spreading love and, and being happy and enjoying this hobby. We're all supposed to be enjoying this hobby because, we all work, go to school, have jobs, do this or that, families, and, there's all sorts of responsibilities, and we only get a little bit of time in the week to work on our passion projects, being our miniatures and our armies and dioramas, whatever. And so this is supposed to be happy time, and if you're not enjoying it, then you got to take care of something else. And so yeah. So I will see you guys later. I think that's it, right? T-shirts, waythebrush.com, email. Keep the emails coming. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys next week. I couldn't think of what I was supposed to say.